Lesson 11, the draw loop run through. So the draw loop is amazing. It is how we animate things. This is how we're going to actually create things that move. So this has it putting a new random X and Y location, drawing an ellipse at each one of these. Each time it runs through the loop over and over again. And in this one, it wants us to add a second one so that it has some orange circles too. So we're going to go to drawing and we're going to fill orange. And then again, we're going to do these random numbers, and I'm going to actually just copy and paste because why rewrite it? And now I have one, it's doing a green ellipse, orange ellipse, green ellipse, orange ellipse, green ellipse, forever. Just keeps going forever. You can see there's a little bit of white left. Ah, there we go. All completely covered. So in this one, it's a prediction of what's going to happen. You can make your prediction and then run it and see what actually happens. If you look at it, it sets up a frame rate, and background is blue, it fills with yellow, background is red, and then it draws circles. What do you think is going to happen? I think it's going to draw red circles. Changes the background to red, sorry, yellow circles, because while it had this fill yellow, the background is inside the draw loop. Anything inside the draw loop is going to go over whatever happened over here outside of the draw. So in this one, we run it, and it has an alien, and it's using this rotation to rotate it back and forth a little bit to make it look like it's kind of moving. And we can change these numbers to make it rotate a little bit more. So I'm going to do like negative 25 and positive 25. He'll swing a little bit further left and right. Now, your sprites are always created outside of the draw loop, and then anything that we're doing to change some of their properties or values happens inside the draw loop. It's important that these sprites are created outside of the draw loop. If I put them inside the draw loop, it does this. It's not pretty. It keeps making a new sprite over and over again and stamping it on the page. So you can't get that nice animation look do that. All right, in this one, we have a pencil that is moving back and forth. If you look at the pencil, it's using a random number between just 10 pixels to make it move a little tiny bit. We're going to do the same thing with the brush to make it do the same thing. We're going to do, if we look at the brush's X, it's 300. So we're going to do 300 and 310. And now it's moving too. Looks like it's writing. There are a lot. We'll do all 4 of these. So in this, you have one alien who is rotating. It looks like he's shaking a little bit. So if we look at that green alien right here, if you notice the background, you see the stars popping up? That's this random ellipse going all over the place. It's making little random white dots all over the screen. It's a nice way to give it kind of a look of like flying in space or just an animated look in general. So we have this green alien rotation. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for, I believe this is pink alien. Yes, pink alien. So we're going to say pink alien, and we're going to do the same rotation here. We're going to do random number -5 and +5. There we go. Now this one moves slower. If you want it to move slower, what we need to do in world is slow down the frame rate. So if we go up here and we slow down the world frame rate to 5, that's pretty much what they had right here. So now it's a little bit slower. Okay, so this sprite. When we run it, it looks super blurry. And here's the problem. We're creating the blender. Each time we run the draw loop, it makes the background, and then it changes its location. So let's first pull the blender out. So the variable and where we set the animation, and pull it out. And there we go. Now it just looks like it's shaking like crazy. Never create your variable for your sprites inside the draw loop. In general, don't ever create any variable within the draw loop. Bubbly. I love Bubbly. Bubbly's not doing what we expect. So Bubbly has great animation to him. If you go here, you can see him moving. See how he has all these bubbles? They go in the same place over and over again. It's 4 of these. So once we've gone through that loop 4 times, it just keeps stamping that basically on the page. We don't have a background. So we need to go find a background. And when we do that, now we have our little Bubbly. And finally, it's not moving. We have a blender. It says set its X to a random number between 195 and 205. And the Y to 195 and 205. So it's not moving. What is going on? Well, it's just staying put. And I'm noticing something. There's a couple things outside of the draw loop should only be the variables. So I got to pull this background and this draw sprites in here. And there we go. We need that in there. If I hadn't pulled the background in, here's what would happen. It would do that stamping thing again. And there we go. Now it's moving and looks animated. And those are the practices. Now let's go through this one. All right, we want the sprite of the salt shaker to look like it's moving up and down here, like you're shaking some salt out of it. So we need a draw loop. We need the background. We need the draw sprites. Now we need to make it move. And I want to make it move up and down, which is the Y. So I'm going to say sprite.y, and it's salt.y. And let's pick a random number. It's on 200 right now, so let's just do 200 and 210. And there we go. Salt shaker. And these challenges I can't show you. You have to extend the scene from what you did in your past lesson to do that one, but it's just making some of your sprites move.